morning, children. In the last class, we have discussed about the first chapter, that is nutrition in plants. In today's class, we will discuss new chapter, that is second chapter, nutrition in animals. You studied about nutrition in plants. Plants prepare their own food by using the simple raw materials present in the environment or present in the nature. With help of the process called photosynthesis, plants can prepare their own food. That mode of nutrition is called as autotrophic mode of nutrition. In plants, we observe autotrophic mode of nutrition. But animals cannot prepare their own food. They depends on plants or other animals directly or indirectly for their food. That mode of nutrition is called as heterotrophic nutrition. In animals, we observe a heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Nutrition in animal involves mainly 3 steps. First one is nutrient requirement. Which type of nutrients they require to their body, or which type of nutrient they will take inside the body. That is called as nutrient requirement. Next, second step, that is mode of intake of food. How they will take the food inside the body, or how the organisms take food inside the body is called as mode of intake of food. And third step, that is utilization of food in the body. How the organism use taken nutrients inside the body. How they will utilize means how they will use that food inside the body. These are the 3 steps involved in the animal nutrition. Animal nutrition includes nutrient requirement, mode of intake of food, utilization of food in the body. They require different types of nutrients. They may take different components of food, carbohydrate, protein, vitamins, mineral, fat, etc. They can take any type of food. That should not be directly taken inside the body or inside the cells of the body. That's why there are some processes or some steps are involved in the nutrition of animals. By those processes, animal nutrition takes place. Nutrition in animals are the process of taking food inside the body of an organism is different from different organism. All the organism will not take the food in the same manner. That the process of intake of food is different from organism to organism. Different ways of taking food. That may vary, I told already. The mode of taking food into the body varies in the different organism. First we will consider examples one by one. Some of the examples we will consider. Bees and hummingbirds. They suck the nectar of the flower of the plant. By that they obtain their nutrients. By sucking they obtain nutrients. Next, infants of human and other animals. Infants means small babies of human and other animals. They feed on mother's milk. By feeding on their mother's milk, they obtain the nutrient. Next, snake-like python. They obtain the nutrients by swallowing other organisms. They swallow other organisms or other animals and they obtain their nutrients. Next we will consider aquatic animals. Aquatic animals mean the water living animals, or the animals living in water are considered as aquatic animals. Aquatic animals, they filter food particle floating on water and feed upon them. They take the organisms or food particles that float on the water near that organism. By filtering those organisms or those food particles, they will take the food inside the body. Like that, the ways of taking food differ from the organism to organism. They may take the food by sucking, by feeding, by capturing, by swallowing, like that, by scraping or catching, like that, by hunting. They can obtain the food in the different manner. They will take their nutrients by different organism. Their nutrient requirement will also be different. Like that, the mode of nutrition takes place in animals. Mainly, the mode of nutrients in animal includes 3 steps. That is, animal nutrition includes 3 steps. That is, nutrient requirement, mode of intake of food, utilization of food in the body. Next, we will discuss about nutrition in animals or nutrition in higher animals or nutrition in human beings. In nutrition in human beings or nutrition in higher animals, there are mainly 5 steps. We have discussed that 5 steps in detail. What are those 5 steps involved in the nutrition of higher animals or animals? That is, first one is ingestion, second one is digestion, third one is absorption, fourth one is assimilation, and fifth one is egestion. These are the 5 steps involved in the nutrition of animals or human beings or higher animals. Ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, egestion. These are the 5 steps involved in the nutrition of animals. Now, we will discuss one by one all the 5 steps in detail. First, we will discuss about ingestion. What is the meaning of ingestion? The process of taking food into the body. That means process of taking food inside the body is called as ingestion. How the organism take the food inside the body, that is called as ingestion. Next, second step, that is digestion. It's a very important step, that is digestion. The process of breakdown of complex components of food into simpler substances. What is this? What is the digestion? The process of breakdown of complex components of food. Complex components of food means what? They are big particles of food. For example, you are taking dosa, idli or anything. They are having big particles. They may contain carbohydrates, proteins, like that. They are big particles that should be converted into simple form of carbohydrate or simple form of protein. Simple form of carbohydrate is glucose and simple form of protein is amino acid. That should be converted into simple form because these complex components of food that cannot be absorbed by the animals directly. That's why that should be broken down into simpler substance, then that should be utilized by the body to get energy. That's why digestion is very important process in the animals. Digestion means the process of breakdown of complex components of food into simpler substances, simple substances. If it is a big molecule of food, that should be converted into small pieces of food. Like this, it is a complex substance and that should be simple converted into simple form of food particle. That is called as digestion. That process is called as digestion. What is digestion? The process of breakdown of complex components of food into simpler substances is called as digestion. In human being, there are 2 types of digestion. One is mechanical digestion, another one is chemical digestion. This mechanical digestion involves breakdown of food with the help of tongue as well as teeth. But chemical digestion involves the breakdown of food with the help of some of the chemicals secreted by the different glands in the digestive system. We will discuss in detail in the next class about the mechanical as well as chemical digestion. You have to remember there are two types of digestion in human being, that is mechanical digestion, another one is chemical digestion. Digestions are of two types in human being. One is mechanical, another one is chemical digestion. Next step in the nutrition, that is absorption. That means digested food is absorbed and transported to cells and tissues through blood. This process is called absorption. Absorbed digested food should be absorbed to the cell as well as tissue with the help of blood vessel. That process is called as what? Absorption. Digested food is absorbed and transported to cells and tissues through blood. This process is called as absorption. Next step, very important, that is assimilation. Digested food is stored or utilized in the cell. This process is called as assimilation. Digested food is stored and utilized in the cell itself. That is called as assimilation. Next, egestion. Last step, very important step, that is egestion. The process of removal of undigested food from the body. The food that is not digested, undigested food. Some of the food items are not digested in the human body or other organism. That should be removed periodically from the body. That is called as egestion. If the undigested food is not removed periodically from the body, that may create some of the disorders related to the digestive system. Diseases related to digestive system. That is called as egestion. These are the 5 steps involved in the nutrition of humans or nutrition of animals. You have to note all these points, definition as well as steps of all these nutrition in animals. All these steps are very important. You have to take definition of ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, egestion. All these steps definition is very important. You have to keep in your mind. That will help you to study the next step in this chapter, that you have to discuss in detail in the next class. We have to discuss in detail, that is digestion in human being. That is human digestive system you have to draw and you have to study and you have to discuss. I think you observed human digestion video. I think. Okay. In the next class we will discuss about that. If you have any doubt on this topic, you can ask. Thank you.